So here we have, oh, this is hard to do. So I'm one-handed, very one-handed. Actually, I'm gonna put you up on something so you can actually see. You think I would have done this like properly, but you know, of course not. Of course not. We're just gonna do it freehand. Yeah. That's gonna work. That's stable, not at all. Put you on some fruit. No, you know what? We are gonna do this. I'm just gonna use a slightly elevated setup. So, great start. Great start. I know. I'm very impressed with myself here. Okay. All right. Hello, and welcome to pizza making one-handed. So here we have the actual thing. What we're gonna do first is make the marinara sauce, which is funny since I actually put you on the wrong side of the kitchen. Because you're gonna need to see the stove. That's where you make marinara sauce. Okay, perfect. So, I like pizza because when you make a pizza, every single piece of it has to be made perfectly first. Not like just the toppings part, but like making the marinara sauce. You can't just like dump a whole thing of, crushed tomatoes and all the ingredients into the pizza. You have to actually cook and prepare each piece of it right. Even making the marinara sauce, right? That's what we're gonna do now. So this will be the example I talk about. What we're gonna do first, I like to use all of the things that like garlic, salt, oil. It's kind of how I start so that all the garlic changes and gets a little roasted and gets all the oil, the juices and suches out. And yeah, I am going to do this. Cutting cloves of garlic. God, that's hard to say. Cutting cloves of garlic. Cutting cloves of garlic. Cutting cloves of garlic. Cutting cloves of garlic one-handed. It really does help to have an extremely nice chef knife, which I do, because I went to culinary school and they made me buy it. Yeah, there you go, perfect. Oh. Great, got a clove here. Somehow that got peeled by just karate chop, which I'm not going to question. Great, man, punching stuff really is a versatile action. So we got our chef knife. Washed off, quite nice. You pinch the blade to hold correctly. I learned this. And then I'm just gonna use either the tip of so like right here, I'm gonna just pin things down using the tip of the cast or my thumb. But the thumb is kind of hard to get down without getting the tip of the cast involved anyway, so. Yeah. This is so strange. When I was making the pizzas originally, it was the whole wow, I cannot use words this morning. The whole fun in it was basically getting to do every single piece of it from scratch. So having to make the dough and then proof it and then all that it's throwing my timing off a little bit, but I still get to do most of it, I think. I've been thinking this through all morning because I promised somebody, Jay, this whole thing is for you. And somebody last night, I think, commented in one of my videos, oh, I really miss your cooking videos. So I was like, you know what? Bet, buddy, I can fix that. So that's why we're making a pizza right now. Everyone can say thank you to Jay. If I'm saying that wrong, or if I actually misread that and it's a different letter, I deeply apologize, but I'm like 100% on that it's Jay. So, right, we got the garlic. Then we add a little bit of kosher salt, kind of make a garlic paste. Keep in mind what the hell was that? I was trying to do a fake Boston accent because I'm not actually from Boston, but I like Bostonians a lot. Yeah. Also, sound effects while cooking improve the process and also the quality of the food greatly, in my experience. So, you hear random impulse sound effects, just, don't pay attention to it. All right, so, garlic and salt. Excellent starting point for pretty much everything that I cook. I'm using just my thumb. Want to point that out? Just my thumb to pin it to my hand, not any of those big fingers and the flexor tendon. Yo, if my doctor saw this though, he would be flip shit angry. Because I'm technically not supposed to use my hand like at all, obviously. But that's not how life works, man. I can't just have no hand. Says the guy who's... I did, however, kind of pay for this already because I snapped the pinky tendon, right? Pinky died instant. I don't think the pinky was ever attached because it was gone like the first day that I got out of the hospital done with the surgery. And now the middle finger, don't mean to flip you off, that's why I'm pointing it this way. Middle finger won't come back down. I can't do this with it. All I can do when I try to move it, it just goes, And all the other ones, thankfully, I can still move. Kind of. It's not very easy to move them, but olive oil. So because I am crippled and I don't have as much material to work with, I'm kind of going to do some silly stuff where I'm going to use Green Mountain salsa as the starting base for my marinara sauce. Sorry, I don't know why that took me so long to come up with the word. Great, great. I'll get you a little better angle on that. All right. Okay, so we have marinara sauce. So for toppings, let's go over the toppings real quick. I personally am a fan of meat of any description. So I have prosciutto, I have bacon, I have prosciutto obviously doesn't need to be cooked, but the bacon does before I put it on. We got some, I'm randomly going through the kitchen, or the refrigerator at this point, just kind of picking things out that look good. So we have thick cut bacon, cherry wood. We have prosciutto. It's just exactly what that sounds like. It's prosciutto. Prosciutto di Parma. Boar's Head Black Label. And then we have mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, and then I have normal, whoa, let's not do that over an open flyer. Normal mozzarella. I also have some anchovies, because I am one of those really strange Italians who will put anchovies on their pizza, but I'm going to avoid that for this particular pizza to avoid disgusting 90% of the people that see this. So, here we go. See, now you can see that the garlic is kind of starting. There we go. Ow, ow, no. Yeah, nah, it's not a good idea. Just using only one hand. Like I said, one-handed. You can see the garlic is starting to brown, and the salt starts pulling some of the, I can't think of the word right now, and I don't know why, but it pulls the good stuff, the tasty flavors out of the garlic. The oil absorbs the garlic flavors because it will not absorb in water. It won't come out in water, you have to use oil. And this is the kind of chemistry stuff that makes cooking so cool to me. Just like the most amazing. Now that the garlic is starting to really brown, I think we're pretty close to being able to add the base sauce, which is basically, not basically, it's literally just salsa. Yeah, pretty much a salsa sauce. That's why you take it off the heat. Circular. Nothing around the edges, just a little floop. Great, now this is gonna cook down. I'm gonna see if we have crushed tomatoes so it's not too intense, but very well might be too intense. And that's all right, because you guys don't have to eat it. I do. Oh, we do have crushed tomatoes. Oh no, we have condensed tomato soup. That's very different. Well, we have crushed tomatoes, so why not? Making pizza is just a phenomenal process. Oh shit. No, I'm not, never mind. No reason, I'm good. That actually smells pretty good. I realize this salsa has already got a pretty good amount of garlic in it, so I might be overdoing it with that, but we'll find out later. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of basil, thyme, and oregano, which is kind of like the classic sorry, what is the expiration date on this? Oh, September 1st, 2024. Yeah, we have some time. Yeah, so that's gonna give it a little bit more water, sweetness, kind of water it down. I'm not trying to like fully water it down, I just want it to be not salsa. Just not salsa would be fine with me. All right, we're getting somewhere. So the reason I did this live is because if I were to make a video of me making food, it would require a great deal of editing, and I don't currently own editing software because I don't have enough money to buy a computer, because I am poor. And I have not been able to work since, well, since COVID, since getting sick with CF. I have to go in on Monday to the hospital to get a lung clean out. If I look healthy, thank you, but I'm not. I'm actually like pretty dang close to just going straight into the ER, which is pretty much what I have to do, I think, on Monday. Fun fact, just a random side note. All right, now let's add the basil, oregano, oregano, oregano. Oh. Also, I'm very careful now when I use seasonings like that. Like anything that's dried and powdered will catch instantly if it gets near the flame, so it'll just have this huge, and you'll lose all the stuff that you tried to put into your sauce. So, thyme, tiny bit of thyme, and yeah, hint of rosemary actually, just to really be unique. And also, never let me play with spices, because I have a tendency to both be impulsive and also overuse condiments. I think this is set. So we can turn the heat off, and now all of this is just going to merge together slowly while I go on to the rest of the things that I'm preparing. And what I like to do with the toppings, I need to make sure that I do any toppings that need to be prepared, like the peppers, I'm gonna fry really quick in oil first, just very lightly. Actually, I'm gonna use butter, I'm not gonna use oil. And then, what else? The mushrooms need to be fried really quick. So like, I just need to prepare those things first before I am ready to put them all onto the pizza. That's why I can't stand it when people say, oh, I'm making a pizza from scratch. And then they just, everything they have, either they just dump all the toppings on at once raw and throw it in the oven expecting it to taste good, or they just have every bit of it is pre-made, and all you're doing is like basically going on the Domino's and physically loading your pizza yourself. That doesn't count. In my mind, not to be judgmental, because people who make pizza should make it however you want to make it, and that counts. It's just the difference between making a pizza from scratch and building a pizza with a starter kit. This is pretty close to starter kit because of the hand, honestly, but I'm still gonna try and do whatever I can to make it an authentic creation instead of just throwing things together. So we got the sauce. Sauce complete. Now we have to make some bacon, and I'm actually gonna use just the really good part of this bacon. So there's the fat side, and then on any bacon, there's the like much fattery, okay, words. There's the much fattier side, and then there's the muscle side. So I'm just gonna take speaking of muscles, that requires a lot of them. So I'm just gonna take that side off. And for this, I shall use my big pan. This is actually not mine, it's my mom's, but it's a big fancy pan. and I love it. But this stove is so stupid. Okay, thank you. Fork, utensil. All right. Yeah, close enough. So I'm just gonna flunk this on that. I maybe, just maybe, I should be a little less boisterous with my right hand since I don't have it. I'm gonna clean this off real quick. Raw meat on my right hand with open wounds doesn't sound like a great combination. All right. Put it behind my back. Just putting it behind my back because I only have one hand. I don't have two. I may think I have two, and I keep accidentally using the second one, but I only have one. Anyway. Wow, this is gonna be. I've been trying to think of like other ideas for things that I can make in the culinary genre that don't require me to use two hands, and I'm realizing kind of anything you want to do in life can be done one-handed if you really try hard. It's just some things are like totally unsafe to do one-handed. Whether they can be done or not, it's not really the point. It's kind of one of those like. I'm sure if I got like, you know, if I was driving and my car went off in a ravine, I could use my other hand to unbuckle my seatbelt. It doesn't mean that I should. Great, so I'm gonna put this away and then we're gonna move on to the next bits of the toppings. Weirdly enough, I actually am not bad at using saran wrap one-handed because I have to wrap my entire cast in saran wrap every time I take a shower. So that's surprisingly one of the things that I'm using. Okay, we got some peppers. I'm going to use the same pan to fry the peppers alongside them because conserving space, why not? Man, bacon is really, really, really good. Are you seeing this? Okay, now it goes to 3. It starts at 3. Normally it goes 1, 2, 3, and it just jumped to 3. Do I risk it? Okay. Now it's at 1. Great. So turns out that the pan itself is not a non-stick pan like I thought it might have been. It's a normal stick pan. So I have to be careful with my fingies. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. All right. So we're gonna have bacon, bacon, peppers, going over the toppings. Mushrooms. I could not think of the word. Mushrooms. And prosciutto. And mozzarella. Trying to think what else I would put on a pizza. What are things you put on a pizza? Like sausage, etc., stuff like that. So I'm the kind of person, by the way, who likes crispy bacon, and because of that, I'm gonna leave it off. I'm probably gonna take it off right now, just because when it goes on the pizza, it's also going to get cooked very mildly by just, you know, being in the oven. So I will need a plate. Man, I haven't done a cooking video in a while, if that wasn't super obvious by how, well, never mind, I'm not going to say anything. But I promise you, with two hands, this is a very different experience. Not that I can't do it one-handed, clearly I can. You know, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. Also, becoming a lefty has been very interesting. Like, it's not so much that I am becoming a lefty in, like, you know, becoming comfortable using my left hand. It's just that I've become really good at mirroring what I do with my right hand using my left hand. If that makes any sense. Like, I feel like I'm not reinventing the wheel so much as I am transcribing the wheel from my right side to my left side. Hopefully that was English. All right, so this sauce looks pretty good. Not the highest resolution, but I promise you it does look good. So I'm gonna dump that tire sauce right onto the pizza, off camera. I meant to show you that, but it doesn't matter, it's still on there. I'm gonna still use the spatula. So while this stuff is cooking, it's just getting kind of a singe. We're gonna go over here and we're gonna start the real toppings. This is where it gets fun. This is where it gets fun. All right, so I need my this thing. So we got a nice thin layer of sauce. I might end up having to add a little bit of raw crushed tomatoes, which is cool. I wish I had a like phone holder or I could put you on like a pedestal. That would be nice. Yeah, either way. So here we got the actual pizza part. It's where we build the pizza. It will need a little bit more crushed tomato. You didn't see anything at all. That was totally normal and didn't spill whatsoever. Cool. So we have prosciutto, we have mozzarella slices, we have mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, and then we are going to add, so what I like to do with the prosciutto, because prosciutto has some pretty unique properties, what I'd like to do is I use only the border with prosciutto. I only put it on the border of the thing so that basically it infuses all the oils that come out when you cook the prosciutto into the crust itself. God, I cannot use words today. It infuses it into the crust, and as a result, it keeps the crust from burning as quickly. And also, it makes a really nice kind of flavor profile of the pizza because it's not all the same in all areas. It's like the outer part, you get a nice, like when you get to the crust, it's like a nice prosciutto-y, salty, meaty taste. It's nice. It's nice. All right, so this is about the point where we can start putting some toppings on. That's not hygienic. Don't do that unless you're crippled, and then do that because there's no other way to open it. All right, I'm gonna put you up on a coffee mug so you can actually see what's happening on the pizza as it's being made. Actually, let's keep with the theme. I'll put you on this so you can see. Okay, this is gonna be so perfect. I'm gonna use this, put it behind you so you don't fall over. And that way you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, this is so safe. This is so safe and stable. Yeah. All right, nice. So what I can do actually is I can just angle this up by putting it down on a can of tuna. It's the most normal pizza video I've ever made. Can of tuna. I'll trust that. Yeah, I trust that. Cool. stop moving and something will stop. Great. Turn this off. All right, so we got the peppers nice and singed. A little bit of bacon grease. That's why I do the bacon first, because any tomatoes, peppers, onions that you throw on afterwards, you basically can get it all baconated, which is always better. The more baconation that you can do, bacon is good for your face. Bacon is good for your saw nothing. Okay, we got some bacon. We got some. I should probably turn on the oven. Oh my God! I thought it was on. Well, that's going to be an issue. Wow, this is surprisingly. I thought that was just going to dump in the middle, and I would have to use my fingers, but that actually went scattershot pretty well. That's hot. Now, just because we can, let's throw some onion on this. I'm putting every topping that isn't gross on the pizza, except for pineapple, because for whatever reason, some people pineapple is one of those really polarizing toppings where like you either love it or you absolutely hate it, and you think everyone who does it should stop. But I'm okay with either one. I think pineapple has its place. I also think culinary or like savory food and pizza making has its place too. So sweet pizzas, yeah, you can make it, but this is not one of those. So I also don't have any pineapple, so I couldn't if I wanted to. Let's see what else we can throw in this. Spinach. That's actually a topping, I think. Cilantro, spinach, got some shallots. I think I'll actually leave it as it is, just in case. But this is the part where we put prosciutto. So this is literally just going to be a meat pizza. Meat, peppers, and onions. The onions part, I actually thought I had pre-prepared the onions. But I think my dad used them for a sandwich. So, which is fine. That's kind of the point of preparing onions. They're supposed to be usable. I just hadn't designated them for this task yet. I didn't label them or anything. So I have to cut up a new onion is what I'm saying. And prosciutto. See how I'm just putting the prosciutto around the border though? And I'm trying to kind of wrap it around, dig it in, get it nice. And I want it to make contact with the dough, not just the sauce. The prosciutto I want to be in contact with the dough. Because what it's doing is it's protecting the outer crust from burning, and it's infusing all the oils that come out when you cook the prosciutto into the crust. So it makes a very nice tasting crust. Happy New Year's, man. I don't know why my brain isn't working right now, and I can't find words properly, but we're just going to pretend that's not happening. We're going to move on. Yeah, that's what I want it to look like. I just want it to look like a border of prosciutto. Also, prosciutto gets really crispy when it's laid out on the dough instead of getting soggy from touching the sauce. And then it makes a nice little it makes it crunchy. All right, onions. I mean, it's kind of perfect timing too, since I actually did not have the, there has to be an onion. Really? Really? No. There's no onion pre-made. All right. I accept for making an onion. I shall make a brand new onion. Let's put the pizza off to the side so you can actually see it for one thing. Leave it on the stove for a moment. Onion. Knife. Put this over here for saran wrap later, and then Oddly enough, peeling an onion is something you can do one-handed. I would argue you can do anything one-handed. I can solve Rubik's Cubes, I can tie my shoes. Okay, tying your shoes, iffy. But you can tie your shoes one-handed. You just kind of have to do it really, really, really slowly and carefully. There's a process for pretty much anything you want to do. Basically, what I'm trying to say is like there's nothing that you need two hands for. Even playing virtual reality games where you have to reload your weapon like with both hands. I've been doing that too, and I'm able to do it. That's true. So you cannot, in a virtual reality game, reload your weapon unless you have at least a thumb, because I had to press the button to grab it. I have to grab the ammo and put it in and then rack the slide, and that's not possible. This is a cooking video, though. I apologize. Let's get back to the cooking. Great. Now we have plenty of onion. And I'm going to leave them in big chunks like this when I put them on. Is this visible? Not at all. That's fine. So, onion, I'm not sure what I like more, whether I would cook it, like normally I would cook the onions just briefly, like just sear them before I put them on. This is the first time, I think, that I've done raw onion on a pizza since I was 5. So we'll see how it goes. It should be fine, I would think. I haven't done it in a while. And now the onion, I do want to make contact with the sauce above making contact with the prosciutto, because I want the onion flavor to go into the sauce. I don't want the onion flavor to just be sitting on top of prosciutto. That doesn't go well. And then, let's see. I'm just making sure in my head I don't like lose any toppings or I'm not forgetting anything. I think we're good. It's about enough onion. It's a lot of onion, but it's good. So how will I know when this is the right temperature? I wish we had one of those, like, at culinary school we had thermometers that you would like hang off the side of the grill. Like you'd put it on one of the notches on the grill inside the oven, and it would literally read the current temperature. I don't have that on this stove. It's some fancy new stove my mom got, and for whatever reason, it's like it doesn't have a readout. It doesn't show you anywhere on the stove where the current temperature is. It just tells you when it's at the temperature you set it at. By, I think, the red light goes away. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean up while just hanging out with you guys, and kind of. Yeah, wait for this. That's kind of all that we can do is just wait for this thing to get up to the temp. I honestly had it on before, and so I don't know why my dad turned it off, but I guess he thought I was going to make it later. All right. This is an exciting stream. I know. I'm excited. I'm there with you, buddy. So, turns out you can still make a pizza one-handed, kind of one-handed, but cooking videos, I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break from. Just simply because especially after I get my next surgery, which should be happening in about a week or less, I really don't want to snap off my middle finger tendon again. I'd like this hand to eventually get at least some range of motion back. My personal goal is to get 99% range of motion back. Obviously I can't get it all back, and the doctor said I probably wouldn't even get 50% back, and I was like, okay, guy. The number of times I've been told, like, by a doctor, for instance, I was literally told, when I was like 12, I was told you're gonna die before you're 18. And I was like, and that you should make peace with that. And I was like, no, I'm 24. Actually, I'm turning 25 in like 10 days. It's kind of cool. I kind of don't believe what doctors tell me now. At least it's not that I don't believe that they believe it. I know they believe it. I believe them. Because otherwise, if I just blindly followed what doctors told me to do, I would be dead. And I would have classic cystic fibrosis bacteria. Like, for instance, I never take oral antibiotics because I know they will never kill the stuff in my lungs, at least not fully. And it's going to damage me far more than it's going to hurt my bacteria in my lungs because it's oral. It's not getting to my pulmonary arteries probably ever. So I have to kind of just play doctor myself. Otherwise, I feel like I would just be dead. But as a result, I've never grown resistant bacteria in my lungs, and I know I'm making a cooking video, so that's kind of gross talking about. I'll stop. Point is, I'm not telling people don't believe your doctors. I'm just saying question it and make sure you understand and follow what they're saying. And if you have a question or if something doesn't make any effing sense at all, call them out and ask them, wait, incongruency, problem. And if they can't explain it, go to a different doctor. Great, so we're really stuck here. We're just kind of hanging out. My pizza's ready to go in the oven. I just need to have it be at temperature. Here's an idea. I'll check back in after I put the pizza in, and we can do a kind of like pizza done review. I'm gonna show you what it looks like right now, so you know I didn't go buy a different pizza or something and trick you. This is all a scam. This was all made off camera when you weren't looking. I was just, every time I would turn around, my sous chef was silently cutting all these things and putting them together. Yeah, all right, so there's the pizza. I mean, we made the pizza. If the goal of this stream was to make a pizza, we have made the pizza. It's not cooked, it's just made. All right, check back in soon.